Hey, you guys, on today's show, the bottom feeder garbage human Jack Smith decided to pop his head up and get his ass in front of a congressional hearing. It did not go well for him. And there was a byproduct of that in one January 6th police officer named Michael Fanone who showed that ass. So we're going to talk about that today on the Angela Box Show.
Hello, my name is Angela Box. So you're talking my name.
Okay, you guys, where do we even start with this? So, Jack Smith, who is either on a really high dose of Ozempic or is like wasting away right in front of us out of the guilt and shame and remorse his lizard heart feels about what he did to not only President Trump, but January 6 people. He hightailed his ass over to Congress this week. He was subpoenaed by the Judiciary Committee. Okay. So the Judiciary Committee subpoenaed Jack Smith and they're like, we have some questions. And some of the questions were regarding like, where exactly did you come up with the idea of charging Trump with, essentially election denialism? Roll the clip of Washington, soon to be Washington Senator Harriet Hagman, which y'all, those of us who watched the shit show known as the January 6th crap, compare and contrast Liz Cheney, who lost her job because she was exposed as a deep state plant. She lost her job to Harriet Hagman. And the beautiful chef's kiss, karma, whatever you want to call it, God wink, of watching Harriet Hagman actually eviscerate Jack Smith. When you compare the fact that the lady that was sitting there before in the Washington Congress was Liz Cheney, I mean, like, it is a beautiful bit of karma. So let's roll the clip of Harriet Hagman basically getting Jack Smith to admit that the reason Trump was charged with, whatever the hell they charged him with, again, election denialism.
Committee provide you with the Cassidy Hutchinson testimony as part of the trove of documents that you received?
As I sit here now, I don't recall, but it would.
Well, you're familiar with her testimony, aren't you?
I am.
And in fact, wouldn't you agree with me that Ms. Hutchinson's testimony, especially the most explosive allegations made, was comprised of hearsay upon hearsay upon hearsay? Come on, you're an attorney. Mr. Smith, you can answer the question. Of course it was hearsay. And hearsay isn't admissible in a court of law, is it? Why? Because it is inherently unreliable and the victim or the target of a prosecution is not able to cross-examine. Isn't that correct? In fact, Mr. Smith, if you had attempted to walk into court with Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, you would have been thrown out on your ear. No judge, no legitimate judge would have ever allowed the testimony of Cassidy Hutchins to be admitted in a court of law, would they?
I disagree.
Well, and then we've already talked about your record.
Mr. Chairman,
today,
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's time has long since expired.
The time of the gentle.
Yeah, I love that clip, and I love that Greg Kelly was like, we all think it's true, okay? So are you going to charge us all? Well, obviously, that's what January 6th was all about. And Harriet Hagman got him to admit that, actually, the only thing that he did wrong was believe that the election was stolen, which Hillary Clinton did for the 4 years Trump was president the first time, and up to and including to today, okay? Because she knows that most of her idiot followers don't actually know that she and Obama and Comey and Clapper and Brennan et al. Invented the Russia collusion hoax. They believe that Trump was a Russian agent. Anyway, if you need any more evidence to know what a deep state piece of shit Jack Smith is, let's take a look at his family, shall we? Okay, this is from C3 on Twitter. X. Jack Smith's wife, Katie Chevigny, produced Becoming, the Michelle Obama, the Big Mike documentary on Netflix. Katie's late mother, Belle Gail Chevigny, was a George Soros Senior Justice Fellow at the Open Society Foundation. So there it is. Dems to Obama to Soros. It's all connected. Okay, now, if y'all will remember, and I'm just going to kind of go through these notes I have here because I have a few. Okay, so remember that Trump believed he was right, okay? Which last time we checked, believing you're right is kind of part of the whole First Amendment thing. It's kind of one of the big reasons we declared independence from Britain. But that did not stop these thugs from not only because the Russia collusion hoax was done and dusted. They were like, all right, we can't make any more hay on this. Robert Mueller came out and said, you know, there's no link between Trump and Russia. Sorry. Which, of course, all of us knew. It's just you literal retards who are out there going, what? After the Robert Mueller report. Anyway, Jack Smith and his thugs decided that they were going to arrest Trump. I don't know. I can't remember if this was a Jack Smith. I think it was. Yeah, of course it was. Jack Smith headed up the Mar-a-Lago raid because they were gonna bust in there, you guys, and they were gonna find all these classified documents that Trump had when he shouldn't have had it. And Trump's like, I'm president of the United States. I can declassify anything I want, okay? But he didn't have classified material just laying out willy-nilly. Oh, you know, like Joe Biden did by his prize 67 Corvette in open boxes in Rehoboth Beach. He didn't do that, no. The classified documents they were looking for were in a skiff, okay? So that wasn't good enough for them. It wasn't good enough for them. They stormed his house. They stormed Mar-a-Lago, and the reason they did that is they were hoping for a shootout. They were hoping that Trump was there, and they were hoping that they could bust down his door and that he would somehow be involved in a tragic accident of some sort. That's why they did it, obvi. But of course they didn't. Trump didn't have anything that wasn't in a skip. But what he did have was a bunch of folders that they had put personal objects in, or personal photos, or non-classified documents. Folders that said classified or top secret, just because they were just folders, okay? Well, Jack Smith and CNN were like, oh, look at what we found. And they laid out all this stuff. And they're like, oh my God, you guys, all of these things are just laying out for anyone to find. Isn't it terrible? Obviously, they were folders, not classified documents. I mean, just again, the lies, okay? So here is, okay. Now, I mean, there's just so many things. And I haven't even gotten to the Michael Fanone thing. I haven't even gotten there. We will get there. Okay, now, Jack Smith, one of the things he was questioned about during this hearing, remember Cassidy Hutchinson? I will remind those skeptics of a certain intelligence board, which I overall, I 100% think that it's real. Is everything on there real? No. Is a bunch of it misdirection? Yes. But there was one of the last posts on the board, and if you know, you know. And the reason I'm not saying it is because I don't want this to get flagged, because it does. Because, you know, conspiracy theories that have no basis in reality always have the entire world coming after them to shut it down when they're totally fake. Anyway, the board, one of the last things the board said, and it's about Cassidy Hutchinson. Basically, can emotions be used to influence decisions? So I think they're talking about the January 6th committee because they wanted to get Trump so bad that they were just letting their emotions run rampant and inventing things. And then at the end of the day, deleting all the documents from the committee, because again, that's what innocent people do. They delete all information even after they were told you better not delete anything by the incoming Congress, but they did it anyway because they're very innocent. Anyway, can emotions be used to influence decisions? How do you control emotion? Define plant. Who is Cassidy Hutchinson? Trust the plan. Q. I literally got goosebumps. Now, let us discuss how stupid these people were in taking everything that Cassidy Hutchinson said as gospel. Cassidy Hutchinson was a second-hand hearsay witness. A second-hand hearsay witness. Remember the dumb story she told that someone told her that Trump was in the Beast, the limo, and Trump was in the backseat of the limo, and like he basically commandeered the driver. He hopped up to the front and commandeered the limo away from the driver because he's so crazy. And the January 6th committee believed this, you guys. They believed it, notwithstanding that it's secondhand hearsay. How the hell is Trump going to get in front? I mean, I guess he could roll the window down and jump through without being tackled by a Secret Service agent, and then somehow commandeers the presidential limo. There's no video of it, because people are always out there with their phones. They're like, oh my God, it's the president. There's no video of it swerving all over the place. There's no corroboration of this whatsoever. I honestly think this Cassidy Hutchinson thing, and remember, she was texting back and forth with Liz Cheney. They were buddies, you guys. And I think this whole thing was a setup. She was a plant, okay? And who did they plant her with? Liz effing Cheney. It's chef's kiss, I tell you. So anyway, Cassidy Hutchinson and Liz Cheney are just BFF over there, and Cassidy Hutchinson's like, I don't work at the White House anymore. It's a perfect setup. I don't work at the White House anymore. She's texting Liz Cheney about how unstable Donald Trump is, and then they put her up there, and it's like, it was the most horrible thing I've ever heard. Roll the clip.
Relayed to him, we don't have the assets to do it. It's not secure. We're going back to the West Wing. The president had a very angry response to that. Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now. To which Bobby responded, sir, we have to go back to the West Wing. The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol. Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
It's very interesting, you guys. The whole thing is very, very interesting. And Jack Smith, you're going to be arrested. I mean, we say that, but has anyone been arrested yet? Unfortunately not. But let's get to the Michael Fanone stuff, because I'll try and make this short. Remember this skinhead-looking cop that was, he was one of the people that testified in front of the January 6th committee, hugging Nancy Pelosi in this picture here, and basically saying that all of the Trump supporters were out there beating him, and he was in fear of his life. Actually, here's a clip that the January 6th committee didn't put out there because it completely turns on its head what this piece of shit Michael Fanone said. It was Antifa that was beating him. It was MAGA that was helping him up into safety. Roll the clip.
I remember looking down and seeing this crowd attacking Mike, and somebody from the crowd was dragging him up toward me. And I remember grabbing him and pulling him back behind me. And then once I knew that other officers were pulling him back, I turned back around to make sure nobody else was.
So, this guy is an absolute lunatic. And in this Jack Smith hearing, he was there to give moral support in his Dropkick Murphy shirt, because he's such an anarchist. He's so badass, you guys. The body covered in tattoos, oh my God, he's such a dreamboat. Anyway, this is, by the way, what leftist women say about him. Anyway, they were like, I'd almost declare my correct pronouns for you, Michael Fanone. You're so hot. Anyway, Michael Fanone is sitting there and he starts flipping off the committee. Well, Troy Nehls was not having this. Roll the clip.
And lastly, I would like to quickly address the police officers of January 6th. Mr. Don, Mr. Fanone, Mr. Gonell, Mr. Hodges. I'm a member of the new select committee to actually examine what happened that day. And I can tell you, gentlemen, that the fault does not lie with Donald Trump. It lies with Yogananda Pittman and the U.S. Capitol leadership team. We know they had the intelligence and there was going to be a high propensity for violence that day. Claim my time, yeah.
You will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. We've had some disruptions already. We don't need that. Let the gentleman may continue.
We know the Capitol leader.
Okay, so then after all this, he's like, you are an insane person and you need medication to the Fanone stuff. Suffice it to say, just go look up Jack Smith on X, okay? You'll see all the clips I'm talking about. The Brandon Gill, the Daryl Issa. There's a lot. Anyway, okay. After all this happens, Mr. Dropkick Murphy's punk rock over there, Michael Fanone, Mr. I'm like skinhead adjacent, and but you know, I'm one of the good guys, hugging Nancy Pelosi, getting a presidential pardon with an auto pen. Don't think that's gonna stick for too much longer, Mikey. Anyway, Michael Fanone gets kicked out of the hearing because he's a lunatic. And then he gets questioned by Kara Castronova over at Lindell TV. Y'all, this is so beautiful. Watch this. Roll the clip.
Officer Fanone, how are you today?
Oh, I'm great.
What happened in there?
What are you talking about?
That confrontation.
Jack Smith testified about how he had proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump incited, orchestrated, and funded the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6, 2021.
It seemed like there was a fight in there.
No, there was no fight.
Is it true, Officer Fanone, that you turned off your own body camera on January 6th?
No.
I saw your body cam. You turned it off yourself. You were playing dead. I saw your body cam footage.
You're a fucking
What am I?
right-wing conspiracy theorist.
I saw you turn off your body cam footage, sir, but thank you for disrespecting me. Psychopath.
Yeah, she's like, you're a psychopath. And everyone's like, yeah, totally. And he also looks a little on the short side, does he not? Like, you know, in most of his photos, he's like, I'm a big and bad bear for you ladies or you gentlemen. Like, whoever pays me the most.
So let's be perfectly clear. You want more of this voice. You want more of the... and all of the things that come with it.
But here's Michael Fanone telling some random black podcaster, we need to start like finding these people and destroying them. Roll that clip.
You know, you talked about, we all saw it with our own eyes. I mean, listen, I've said for a long time now, really since the election, the most recent election, that, we're at a point in America where like, I'm done convincing people. I don't give a shit if you believe what I say. I don't care if you've seen my body worn camera footage and have a different opinion. I don't care. All I want to do is defeat my enemies. And anyone who sides with this administration is my enemy. They are the enemy of this democracy. They are the enemy of this country. They're enemy of the people who have compassion and empathy for their neighbors. They need to be destroyed, dismantled, and dismissed from our country.
Okay, and after this guy basically said, all the Trump people should be destroyed, but you're a right-wing conspiracy theorist, then this piece of shit decides to up the ante. Ivan Raiklin is a January 6th defendant. He is a patriot. He is a badass MFer, okay? He does a lot of speaking tours with Michael Flynn, okay? So he's a good guy. So Michael Fanone, as he's leaving, after he's being kicked out, Mr. Dropkick Murphy's, and he's and his lady titties, as you're going to see in this clip. He basically said that Ivan Raiklin said that I want your children to be hard. I want your wife to be murdered. Roll that clip.
All have our trainers. Why are you so spasmodic? Absolutely. Look behind me.
Excuse me.
Why should I?
Excuse me. No, not this guy. Not this guy. Not this guy. Not this guy. Oh, give me.
See how many people are controlling you? Look at me.
No
Total control over my mind and body. Total control over your mind and body.
Sir, you have no shame. No shame. You have no shame. Treating these people that way.
This guy is threatening my family.
Unbelievable.
Threatening my children. Threatening to rape my children. Rape my children, you sick bastard. Rape my children. Don't touch me. Do not look.
And so Ivan is like, I think I'm going to sue this MF for defamation unless he puts out a very detailed apology. He won't. I could go on forever, but that is where I'm going to leave today's show. Please, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. And remember, everybody, to keep kicking ass and taking names and to let I will be done. Peace.